Hello, and welcome to the Do-It-Yourself Workshop. As you know, some e-bikes can weigh upwards of 70 pounds or more. So trying to carry two e-bikes on the back of a vehicle, whether it's your car or your truck, weight-wise, you could be looking at 150 pounds. Regular bike carriers are not designed to carry this amount of weight. What we will do in this video is to modify an old cargo carrier that we have lying around. And this particular carrier has a weight capacity of 500 pounds. We will begin by removing both of the short railings on each side. We'll need a wrench and a battery-powered drill. Hold the nut on the back side with the wrench and unscrew. And unscrew the nut on the lower railing. This procedure will remove the stabilizing bar. Follow the same procedure, the same steps on the opposite side. Remove that stabilizing bar. Then proceed to the opposite railing and remove both of those stabilizing bars. All four corners of the upper railing have been riveted together to a plastic angular support. We must remove the rivet on both sides of each of the four upper corners. Now, with a strong grasp and a little wiggle jiggle, we can pull this upper railing apart from the anchoring corner and the opposite side also. And again, with a little wiggle jiggle, we can remove the entire plastic corner. So after removing all four corners and two upper rails, you will have something that looks similar to this. We now need to know the overall length of our carrier. Measure the overall length of the bike from wheel tip to wheel tip, or check your manual. In order to save costs on this project, I had several scrap 2x8s and 2x10s, which I ripped down, making 2x3s. And obviously, I need a new saw blade. I cut several of the boards that we ripped earlier to the width of our cargo carrier, just to get an eyeball perspective of what we are going to accomplish. These boards will form the base of our bike rack. Here is a glimpse of the long rails that will hold our bikes on the cargo carrier. Each long rail must have a supportive upright member attached to each of the four rails. For strength and stability, when joining the upright member to the long members, we will use a lap joint, glue, and we will screw the joints together. And there you have a perfect lap joint. For added stability, I've pre-cut some angular braces, which we will put with glue and long screws also. Now we need to know the width of our tire and the rim. I have confirmed my measurement with the manual, and I have made a wooden block to the exact size. Our front tire will set in our form as seen here. We're going to use the pre-cut wooden block as our guide for the distance so that the tire fits correctly. Here is a preliminary check to ensure that our measurement is correct, our measuring block is correct. And we're going to join both of our uprights, both of our rails with cap blocks. So we are back on our workbench about to install the cap block. We'll clamp our measuring block in to assure a consistent size. You should always pre-drill holes to ensure your wood will not split. Apply glue to all your pieces where they will make contact with one another. Move your lower cap block into position and screw it to the two uprights. You can remove the lower clamp and the lower measuring block and follow the same procedure and apply a cap block to the upper section of the uprights. Repeat this same procedure using your other set of rails and uprights. Our e-bike carrier is now beginning to take shape. Notice that both the front and the rear wheel are balanced on the cargo carrier, and the weight is on a frame member. Let's add a few temporary screws just to hold what we have together. Flip the assembly over and add the additional frame members as we had laid them out earlier. Assemble the second rail exactly the same as the first and attach it to the cargo carrier. Attach it so that both wheels, the weight of both wheels, are setting on a supportive member of the cargo carrier. Cut the long rails to the length we had measured earlier, which would be the length of the bike from tire tip to tire tip. Our bike carrier is nearly complete. Some sanding will be required where parts are misaligned. And do not be concerned how the wood looks now. We will add a coat of paint later. So we still do have a few finishing touches before we are completed. Again, this is not furniture for inside your house. So besides the obvious paint job, there are a few other things that I wanted to bring to your attention. The actual red wooden rack is a separate unit from the cargo carrier. Having the rack separated from the cargo carrier makes both units lighter, easy to assemble, and easier for storage. After the cargo carrier has been attached to your vehicle, the rack assembly can easily be bolted to the cargo carrier. And I will now show you how. Here we see the cargo carrier sandwiched in between our upper support member and the lower support member with carriage bolts. Here we see the cargo carrier sandwiched between are support members with carriage bolts. By simply adding or removing these 4 carriage bolts, our bike rack can be part of or separated from our cargo carrier. I have also added 8 tie-down eyes